The human brain operates through mechanisms that are equally hidden and far more mysterious, processing information in ways that challenge our most basic assumptions about how we experience reality. Your brain's secret time travel ability. The brain's information processing capabilities operate through mechanisms that neuroscience research in 2025 has revealed to be far more sophisticated than previously understood. Scientists studying predictive processing have discovered that your brain constantly builds detailed models of what it expects to happen next based on past experiences and incoming sensory data. Instead of simply reacting to events as they occur, your brain creates a predicted version of reality that gets updated and refined as new information arrives. 3 specific brain regions work together to create this predictive processing system. The prefrontal cortex acts as the master predictor, using memories and learned patterns to generate expectations about what should happen next. The parietal lobe processes spatial and temporal information to coordinate these predictions with your sense of timing and location. The visual cortex takes incoming signals from your eyes and immediately starts comparing them to predictions from the prefrontal cortex, creating the visual experience you perceive as happening in real time. Scientists measure these neural processes using sophisticated brain imaging technology that can track activity with millisecond precision. When researchers show people images or ask them to make simple decisions, they can observe brain regions activating and processing information in coordinated sequences. The visual cortex responds to incoming images rapidly. The prefrontal cortex generates predictions based on learned patterns, and the parietal lobe coordinates spatial and temporal aspects of the experience. This predictive processing system provides significant advantages for survival and decision-making. When you encounter potentially dangerous situations, your brain uses past experiences to generate predictions about what might happen next, allowing for faster and more appropriate responses. Emergency responders and military personnel often develop enhanced predictive abilities through training and experience, enabling them to anticipate problems and react effectively even in chaotic situations. Professional athletes rely heavily on predictive processing to perform at elite levels. A baseball player facing a fast pitch doesn't have time to consciously track the ball and decide when to swing. Instead, their brain uses predictive models to anticipate where the ball will be and when to initiate the swing motion. The conscious experience of hitting the ball represents the end result of unconscious processing that began much earlier. Recent studies on temporal perception disorders have revealed how this predictive system can malfunction and create unusual experiences. People with certain types of epilepsy sometimes experience their predictive processing getting disrupted, causing temporal distortions in their perception of events. Patients with specific brain injuries can lose their ability to generate accurate predictions about future events, leaving them constantly surprised by things that should be predictable. The connection between predictive processing and deja vu experiences has become clearer through recent research. Deja vu occurs when your brain's prediction system generates strong expectations about what should happen next, but the actual sensory input doesn't match the prediction perfectly. This mismatch creates the eerie feeling that you've experienced the current situation before, even though you consciously know you haven't. The stronger the prediction and the closer the match to reality, the more intense the deja vu experience becomes. Some individuals report precognition experiences where they feel like they can predict future events, and scientists believe this might relate to unusually efficient predictive processing systems. People with highly developed pattern recognition abilities can generate accurate predictions about future events based on subtle cues that most people miss. Their brains create detailed models of what's likely to happen next, and when these predictions prove accurate, it can feel like supernatural insight. This predictive processing affects how we perceive cause and effect in daily life. When you flip a light switch and the room illuminates, your brain has already predicted that the light will turn on and prepared your visual system to process the change in illumination. The conscious experience of flipping the switch and seeing the light activate feels instantaneous, but your brain orchestrates the entire sequence through predictive mechanisms. The implications extend to how we understand memory formation and retrieval. When you remember something, your brain isn't simply accessing stored information. It uses predictive processing to reconstruct the memory based on cues in your current environment and expectations about what the memory should contain. This means that memories are actually predictions about what happened in the past, not perfect recordings of historical events. Individual differences in predictive processing ability can explain variations in reaction time, decision-making speed, and personality traits. People with highly efficient predictive systems tend to excel at anticipating social situations, making quick decisions, and adapting to changing circumstances. Those with less efficient systems might struggle with timing, coordination, and rapidly changing environments. The predictive processing system becomes more sophisticated during high-stress situations. When your brain detects potential danger, it shifts into a hyper-vigilant mode where it generates predictions at an accelerated rate and with increased accuracy. This enhanced processing allows for better threat assessment and more effective responses to dangerous situations. Brain imaging studies have identified the neural networks responsible for different aspects of predictive processing. These networks show increased activity when people are engaged in tasks requiring anticipation or prediction. The strength of connectivity between different brain regions correlates with individual differences in predictive abilities and overall cognitive performance. This research on predictive processing represents just one example of how sophisticated biological systems operate through mechanisms that challenge our everyday understanding of how life works. The human body contains processes that seem to operate according to principles that extend far beyond conventional biology, reaching into realms. The quantum weirdness inside your DNA. DNA repair mechanisms in your cells operate through quantum tunneling processes that allow particles to pass through energy barriers that should be impossible to cross according to classical physics. Research in 2025 has confirmed that quantum tunneling plays a crucial role in how DNA maintains its integrity and corrects errors during replication. When DNA gets damaged from radiation, chemicals, or normal cellular wear and tear, specialized repair enzymes use quantum effects to access and fix problems that would be unreachable through conventional molecular interactions. The quantum tunneling process in DNA repair involves electrons and protons moving through energy barriers by essentially disappearing from one location and reappearing on another side of the barrier. This happens because at the quantum level, particles can exist in probability states that allow them to bypass physical obstacles that would stop them in the macroscopic world. DNA repair mechanisms exploit this quantum property to reach damaged sections of genetic material and perform precise corrections. Scientists have documented that DNA repair mechanisms use quantum tunneling over 1 billion times per day in each cell. This staggering frequency makes quantum mechanics one of the most active processes keeping your genetic material stable and functional. Each tunneling event occurs on timescales measured in femtoseconds, which are millionths of a billionth of a second. During these incredibly brief moments, repair molecules can access damaged DNA sites and perform corrections with precision that wouldn't be possible using only classical physics. The quantum effects in DNA repair directly influence how genetic mutations occur and affect the evolutionary process. When repair mechanisms use quantum tunneling, they sometimes create small changes that result in beneficial mutations. The quantum nature of these processes means that mutation patterns aren't completely random as scientists previously believed. Instead, quantum effects create specific patterns in how and where mutations occur, influencing which traits get passed to future generations and how species evolve in response to environmental pressures. Different types of DNA damage require different quantum repair strategies. UV radiation creates molecular distortions that get fixed through quantum tunneling processes involving electron transfer. Chemical damage from toxins triggers quantum repair pathways that use proton tunneling to restore proper molecular structures. Oxidative damage from normal cellular metabolism activates quantum mechanisms that can repair multiple damaged sites simultaneously through coordinated quantum effects. Quantum coherence in DNA affects aging and disease resistance in ways that are changing our understanding of human health. Quantum coherence refers to the ability of quantum systems to maintain their properties over extended periods in biological environments. People with more efficient quantum coherence in their DNA repair systems tend to age more slowly and show greater resistance to cancer and genetic diseases. The connection between quantum coherence and aging works through decoherence rates, which measure how quickly quantum effects break down in biological systems. Young, healthy cells maintain quantum coherence in their DNA repair mechanisms for longer periods, allowing more efficient, accurate repairs. As people age, environmental factors and accumulated cellular damage cause quantum coherence to break down more quickly, leading to less efficient DNA repair and increased mutation rates that contribute to aging and disease. Scientists can now measure quantum coherence in human cells using techniques that detect quantum signatures of DNA repair processes. Research has shown that people with naturally high quantum coherence in their DNA show biological ages significantly younger than their chronological ages. Individuals with poor quantum coherence often exhibit accelerated aging patterns and higher rates of age-related diseases. This discovery has opened new approaches to anti-aging research based on preserving and enhancing quantum effects in cellular repair systems. The implications of quantum biology extend beyond DNA repair to other crucial biological processes. Enzyme function throughout the body relies heavily on quantum tunneling effects. Digestive enzymes use quantum tunneling to break chemical bonds that would be difficult to break using only classical chemistry. Metabolic enzymes use quantum effects to process toxins and medications at speeds that wouldn't be possible without quantum assistance. Basic cellular processes like protein folding depend on quantum tunneling to help molecules find their correct three-dimensional shapes. Scientists are developing medical treatments that specifically target and enhance quantum processes in human cells. Quantum-enhanced therapies work by affecting quantum coherence in cellular repair systems. These treatments use precisely controlled conditions to enhance quantum tunneling in damaged cellular repair mechanisms and restore normal function. The diagnostic applications of quantum biology allow doctors to detect early stages of diseases by measuring quantum coherence patterns in DNA samples. Environmental factors that disrupt quantum processes in cells are being identified as contributors to disease and aging. Electromagnetic interference can affect quantum coherence in DNA repair systems. Understanding these quantum disruptions is leading to better strategies for protecting cellular repair mechanisms from environmental damage. The quantum processes operating in your DNA represent fundamental mechanisms that maintain life at the molecular level. Every repair event involves particles moving through impossible barriers and molecular machines operating according to quantum principles. These quantum effects work continuously to preserve genetic information and prevent the accumulation of mutations that could compromise cellular function.